face, I call it the martini glass building because it looks like a martini glass, which is very strange because on a large building like that, you'd think you want a nice strong base. You think you want it wider at the base and skinnier at the top. But that building could only work with a 37-foot cross land. Because on one side you have the river, on the other side you have the train tracks. And so, what they did, that plot sat vacant for a very long time until they had structural steel strong enough to allow it to stand straight up, and something called a liquid tube mass damper that prevents it from swaying side to side. That liquid tube mass damper is basically a big swimming pool in the top of the building. Whenever the wind hits the wall hits that pool, it serves as a pendulum, swinging counterclockwise in the opposite way of the wind and preventing it from swaying back and forth. It's something that means we're going to spin around. It's very common in areas prone to earthquakes. Also waves, they hide. You're never more popular than when you're in a boat. To make sure to take advantage of that. That's why I have this job. Now directly ahead of us, you can see a building with this sort of green glass, heavy stone base merged with the river. That's in a style called contextualism. That green glass is designed to mimic the sort of snot green color of the Chicago River, and it curves along with the side of the building as well. Curves along with the curve of the river as well. And so, they wanted to bring that context into the building itself. It's something you'll see all over the place, I would say. And it is also where, have you ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off? That's where the dad works. He works up in that building. And then off to the left, that used to be a parking lot where you would see Ferris Bueller. Now, off to the left again, you're going to see one of Chicago's ground scrapers. It's this big, sandy beige building with the heads on sticks at the very base. That is the Mart. Well, this once known as the Merchandise Mart. It's supposed to be the central hub of merchandise for Chicago, and it had a lot of things going for it. It had its own train stop. It had its own zip code. It was by volume the largest building in the world. And the one thing it did not have going for it though was luck. You see, this opened up 6 months into the Great Depression, basically immediately went out of business, and after that it was, bought up by a bootlegging family known as the Kennedys. Now it serves as office space, and they do have the largest digital display of art right here in Chicago on the side of this building. It's pretty cool on weekends. Now to the right, you see the River Hotel. Those are those boxes filled with native plants and grasses. Those are designed to allow fish to live in the river. On to the left, you're going to see a building that also helps with that. I wouldn't pull it out on its outside appearance alone, but it's a building, glass and steel, Chicago Cut Steakhouse at the bottom. That is LEED Platinum certified. LEED, that's an environmental thing. An interior green building. Platinum, that's the highest rank you can get. And one of the ways they achieve this rank is by sucking in water from the river, using it in the AC system, and then through that process the water is purified and then dumped directly back down into the river. This not only isn't that platinum rank, but it allows native fish to be reintroduced. It allows people, they plan on doing a swimming race coming up. They want to do a swim race through the Chicago River. They've been saying this for a while, many times it's been delayed, so quite frankly I will be the last one in that race, but all power to them. Now on to the left, you're going to get a great view of Chicago's famous concrete corn cobs. Marina City, designed by Bertrand Goldberg. They're the ones that look like the concrete corn cobs, and he had the same idea as that Mies van der Rohe guy, that the material should speak for itself, but he has a different material. He has concrete you can mold into any shape you want. And so he saw no right angles in nature, and he wanted no right angles in his building. And so he designed an organic floor plan, as if it was a bunch of sunflowers stacked on top of each other. With that central stem, that's where all the mechanicals go. Things like electricity, plumbing, elevators, all running up through there and going to each flower petal. Each flower petal is its own apartment. They have 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, designed to bring young families back into this urbanization